Hi.
Oh, hey, Alexis.
Is it seat taken?
No, not at all. It's all yours. It's a good day for a power walk, huh?
Yeah, well, it's not my choice. I lost a bet with the girls, and now I have to walk 4 times a week because they say it'll reduce my stress. Although I feel more stressful when I'm walking because I'm thinking about all the things that I'm not doing while I'm walking.
Well, at least it got you out of the office and into the fresh air.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of used to the air in my office. I'm worried this fresh air might shock my lungs. Now, who is that beauty?
This is Phoebe.
Now I know why I haven't heard from you and Chase about that adoption process we discussed.
We didn't expect to have Phoebe for this long. The PCPD has been looking for her family, but so far they've come up with nothing. It's like she's all alone in the world.
Well, she's very lucky to have you both.
We're the lucky ones. I knew we'd fall in love with her, but we also knew we'd have to give her to her family. But if there is no family...
Changes things.
Alexis, how long before Phoebe is officially declared a ward of the state and available for adoption?
I'm sorry. Have you and Chase discussed adopting Phoebe?
Not yet. I think we're both afraid to be the first one to say it out loud. We were braced to be temporary parents. We wanted her to be back with her family.
But that hasn't happened.
The thought of handing her over to complete strangers, no matter how wonderful or well-deserving they may be, it feels wrong. Phoebe lost her mom. And if she loses me and Chase too, she'll be abandoned all over again.
And to have to put her back into the system.
It would break our hearts. We already love her.
I know. Brooklyn, that might be exactly what you may have to do.
Does it work in our favor that we're Phoebe's foster parents?
Well, it doesn't hurt. But this is a really complicated legal situation because when you and Chase decided to take Phoebe in, you did it with the understanding that it was just temporary. Since there are thousands of families that have already registered and are waiting for a baby, I mean, you can't just cut the line, as it were.
But what about what's best for Phoebe?
Well, that isn't for you and I to decide. But if you and Chase really want to adopt Phoebe, the sooner you make it official, the better.
You think?
Well, that settles it then. I will talk to Chase tonight.
All right, well, when you talk to him, you have to have a real honest conversation about what you both want.
Well, that won't be a problem.
Well, I know you want a baby, but when we talked, you said you wanted a private adoption, and that is very different than a state adoption.
How exactly? I mean, obviously they're different, but...
Well, private adoption is more personal. The couples have more control, rather than having to fight the state child welfare system, and that's a lot more impersonal.
We'll have to go to court?
Not only that, you're going to have to convince a court to not only ignore its own rules, but ignore the families that are waiting in good faith for a baby because you're what's best for Phoebe.
Pressure.
I will help you the best that I can, but it's going to be a good, hard fight, and you and Chase need to be up for it.
I have to talk to Chase, but I already know in my heart what he'll say. We don't just want a baby, we want this baby. Phoebe belongs with us.
You and Chase really want to adopt Phoebe, I will help you, but it's not going to be easy.
Well, nothing worthwhile ever is. Okay, so what are the steps that we have to take for a chance to adopt Phoebe officially?
Well, first I recommend a private search for Phoebe's family because we just want to be sure.
Okay, yeah, we could do that.
And while that's going on, we're going to sit down and talk because the state is going to do an extensive background check on you both. And we want to be prepared.
Do you think we'll have a problem?
Nobody's life is spotless. We just have to anticipate what the state is going to dig up on you and have an explanation. In other words, you and Chase need to be ready to answer for everything that you've ever done.
Would it be